held a press conference touting the conservative victories in the bill. I want to ask you if you agree with one of your colleagues' comments today, Clay Higgins of Louisiana, who said we've gradually shifted the center of gravity of the Republican conference towards the right. What do you think about it?
I would think the election has shifted, that we actually focus on exactly what we had said we would do. Have you ever read The Commitment to America?
Yeah.
Okay. So what have we done since we've been taking the majority? We have kept our commitment to America, and that's exactly what we're doing. Yes, sir.
On Ukraine, in addition to, I guess, Carol putting Ms. Taylor Green on the conference committee, on Gates' amendment, there were 7 Republicans who indicated they were basically willing to cut and run from helping out Ukraine. Should Ukraine be worried about U.S. support in light of that? It's a third of your conference.
No. Did you see the overall vote? I know. You asked me a question. I'm answering your question. So what did this bill pass by? On a bipartisan vote. What was the Ukraine amendment? What did that pass by? It failed with over 300 votes the other way. So you know math as well as I do, and that's an overwhelming support here. So I'd read it as that. Yes, sir.
Is there any concern at all, and Tony Gonzalez yesterday, he said it's unfortunate and a missed opportunity that this bill was going to be a close to party line vote, coming out of committee was extremely bipartisan, and then you had all these amendments. Is there concern that the military is getting politicized recently?
It's a concern to me that Democrats have politicized this. Because sit and think for exactly what your question is, and I would think Tony would think this the same way. The Democrats said they're not going to vote for giving the military a pay raise, for giving the military an investment to make the world safer, unless they had wokeism. They said they would not pay and give them a 5% pay raise unless they go against something they voted for a year prior in a Hyde Amendment. So yes, it is concerning to me that the Democrats have gone that far. For 4 decades, for 40 years, up until last year, they supported Hyde. What changed? What changed? What made them vote? I'm sure you asked them the question. Why would they vote against the military on something they had voted for, even the minority leader, a year before? And then he criticized people from New York on something that he actually voted for as well? That's hypocrisy. That's playing politics. That's not right. To do that to our men and women in uniform? We have 2 veterans right up here. Jen Kiggins flew helicopters. Her husband flew F-18s. Her children went into the military. Nick, same thing. What do you think they think when they look back? And when they get an answer from the Democrats? It may have been good enough to vote for it a year before. And what does it actually mean? It means that they want to take taxpayer money to spend on something other than the military. And all we're saying on the NDAA, let's use the money on the military. So, yes, ma'am.
Do you think that this was the right vehicle to legislate around things like the Pentagon's policy on providing care for support for?
How? Can you tell me the jurisdiction of where this would be done then?
What do you mean?
Well, do you think it doesn't belong in the NDAA if you're talking about how to? Well, it's not just me, the parliamentarian does. See, what's very interesting here is, for 40 years we have decided no matter where you sit on this issue, don't use taxpayer money for it. And that's called the Hyde Amendment. It is the military who, a few people in the brass, who are probably taking orders from somebody else in the White House now, to go against the law. All we simply say is reinstate where everybody has stood for 40 years and focus on the military. You're concerned about wokeism. I'm concerned about wokeism too. I think our men and women that I listen to today that are having a hard time to meet our recruiting levels. And when you talk to a number of people, I just read an article, I'm not sure if somebody in this room wrote it, that we have men and women who are veterans from the military who are now not encouraging their children to take the same path based upon what's being trained today. I think we need to change course. So your question earlier, has the Congress changed? Yes, the Congress has changed. We're keeping the commitment we said we would do. We're focusing on the principles that make America stronger and freer and keep us safer so we will never be in war again. Last question, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Even though it was just a small number, what do you make of your fellow members who did not support this bill bill, particularly those like Congressman Crane, who pushed some of these amendments and ultimately didn't support final passage. And speaking of Congressman Crane, what is your reaction to his remarks yesterday on the floor referring to African Americans as colored? I know he said that he misspoke, but is that acceptable?
That's not acceptable. I'll take him at his word that he misspoke. I have never heard him use that before, so you'd have to ask him about that. I hope you have all a great weekend. I look forward to your question on Monday. Will we be able to pass a bill next week as well? So I think we will, and I look forward to you asking me questions about policy too sometime next week. Take care.